Okay, here's my long-awaited review on my computer. I had an episode where I had an old camera and that wouldn't work, and then I got a new camera. And the camera I'm using right now I'm not entirely happy with, but I'm going to go ahead and give it a try. I've had several people ask me, hey, what's in your computer? When are you going to do a review? So let's go ahead and get started. You can see that I'm using the Corsair 800D computer case, which in all honesty is probably one of the better cases you can get right now for hiding wires and being able to show all your components in all their glory. I've been real happy with it. I've had no problems with it whatsoever. I've modified it some. Let's go ahead and look at the hardware I got right now. You can see by the picture that I have the Core i7-980X, and I have it clocked about 4.4 gigahertz, and my V-core on it's only 1.37, which is great. I'm using the Corsair Dominator GT 2000 memory, so of course I have it running at 2000 megahertz, and I have two 5970s in Crossfire. You can see them all there. Here's the outside look of my case. One thing you'll notice different from the original 800D is if you look down here in the original 800D, this is plexiglass down here where you can see in the bottom. I went ahead and painted that so you wouldn't see any of that. Actually, my buddy painted it, I better say. And it goes across here, and it gives kind of a neat optical illusion. You see the water tubes coming out, but you don't see them below. So it's pretty neat. I like it, and I have the Republic of Gamers vinyl there. I also have the Core i7 logo on the window as well. So let's go ahead and take this side panel off. And as you can tell, taking the side panel is honestly as simple as hitting a button and lifting it off. Awesome case. So here's the insides. There's my CPU water block. I'm using the CPU 350 from Coolamps. And it's a real nice water block. It hovers around 30C at idle, and at load I get up into the high 50s, maybe 57 or 8. So I think it's an awesome water block. There's my Dominator memory. I have 6 gigabytes of it, 3 times 2. May in the near future get 3 more sticks, but it may hurt my overclocking on it. Down below you'll see I have my X-Fi card, and the X-Fi card would not fit there originally for 2 reasons. The first reason, with the Asus Rampage motherboard that I have, I had to tear off a couple of those fins on the north bridge, which actually isn't the north bridge anymore, but you get the idea, in order for it to fit. And then I went ahead and bought the Bits Power 5970 water blocks, and if you look on it, see those screws that stick up? They come up so high off the back of the card that because the X-Fi has an aluminum cover, it wouldn't fit. So I had to Dremel the bottom of the X-Fi card in order to get it to fit. And believe me, I was crying during it because I knew after I'd done that I wouldn't be able to sell it eventually. So that's the problem I have with it. But you can't tell with it installed that it's been Dremeled at all. And right above it, you'll see right here is the control module for the external Coolamps water cooling system that I'll show you here in a minute, the ERM2K3U. So going below, you see my 2 5970 cards with the Bits Power water blocks. I don't know if you can see the logo, but I'll try to get under there. So it lights up pretty well, but it lights up because I give it some lights. The Bits Power block, and you can't see it in there, comes with one space to put one LED, and so I bought just an LED to put in it. It didn't light up at all, basically. So I had to buy an LED strip and mount it on the back side of both cards in order to get it to light up for real. So that's what I done. So let's look at the water loop here. Okay, down in the bottom, this was the other modification I made to the case, is I actually cut 2 holes in the bottom for the inlet and outlet of the water. See, the case comes with 2 up there, but I couldn't get the route the way I wanted to like that, so I went ahead and drilled these 2 holes to get the water in and outside of the case. So this is actually my inlet, the top here. So it goes through here, it goes through a temperature sensor from Coolamps, and it goes up here, and it goes to my bottom 5970. through the card and then out here and connects using bits power fittings to the second card, and it goes up here to the CPU. There you go. And it comes down through the hole in the plate, around, and back out. So I know someone's going to ask me, you know, why do you have the temperature sensor on the inlet side of the loop? And I've been dealing with water cooling for quite a while. Since it's a closed loop system, there's really no spot in the entire loop that varies more than 2 to 3 degrees Celsius. So it doesn't matter. I mean, it's all going to equalize out eventually. I kept the same theme throughout the build. I'm using the Sigmatech fans. You can see the one down there. It's 140 millimeter. There's another 140 millimeter. And I'm using a total of 4 120s. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I also got some UV lights up there if you can see them. So that's basically the inside. Down at the bottom, that's the Intermax Revolution 1050 watt power supply, which, to be honest with you, is probably putting out everything it can for this machine. Let's go to the front. I'm using the Zalman ZMMFC3 fan controller. And the main reason I got it wasn't to control the fans, because the fans are pretty silent, so I leave them on full 100% all the time. But the see the load there? My computer's at idle right now, and it's using 329 watts, 330. And that's what I liked about it. It goes up to 999 watts, and if I run Furmark or some type of benchmark, it'll actually say high wattage because it goes above that 999. So that's how I know that my power supply is right there at the top end of what it can do. Right here I have a military switch, and what I have that for is if I click it up, you're going to hear some noise here. The water blocks from bits power cool the GPUs and some of the memory pretty well, but it does not cool the back memory chips that are on the back of the PCB on the board. So I have that just during benching. I don't have to run that fan during playing games or anything, but for benching I go ahead and turn it on. So let's go ahead and turn that back off because that's pretty loud. Below it I just have a DVD-RW, and then I have the front panel control for the X-Fi. So let's move this computer out a little bit. And here is my Coolants ERM2K3U. And right now the coolant's showing 30 degrees. And here's the other side of it. I've owned this twice. I had Vapor Chill at one time, and the new processors now put out so much heat the Vapor Chill was getting overpowered. So I went with the 2K3U, then I sold it, and then I bought it again because I realized it's really, for an entire cooling solution, it's about the best you can do. Okay, let's go ahead and look at my peripherals real quick. I'm using the Dell 30-inch monitor, 2560 by 1600. It is an awesome monitor. It has DisplayPort, and since my 5970s have DisplayPort, I'm using that, which makes it real easy. There's only one cable coming from it. For my other peripherals, I have the Logitech G19, and for those of you wondering, that is the MSI Afterburner. It actually works on the screen there. It tells you the temperatures of everything and the clocks. I'm using the Logitech G9X, and I'm also using the Logitech Z680 speakers, which is a little old, but it's about just as good as the 5500. So there is a review of my computer. I've worked long and hard on it. I'd say, you know, I have a good 7K in it. I'm changing it all the time. I used to have a physics card in there, but was running into problems with it with the ATI drivers. So just go ahead and subscribe if you want. I'm going to have a lot of reviews coming up. So hopefully you enjoyed this review. Thanks.